Hey everyone, it's Harry, and welcome back for another deep dive into space history.
Glad to be here.
Today we're going to be talking about Apollo 9,
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
and I'm really excited to dig into this because, when you think about the Apollo missions,
Right.
Apollo 11 obviously gets all the attention,
It's the big one for
the
sure.
moon landing, the whole thing, but Apollo 9 was really crucial too.
Oh, absolutely. It was a major stepping stone to getting to the moon.
Yeah, and we actually got a request from a listener to dive a little deeper into Apollo 9.
Yeah, they sent in a Wikipedia entry about the picture of the day for March 3rd,
Oh, right, yeah.
2025, and it's this really amazing photo from Apollo 9.
So for those who maybe don't know as much about Apollo 9, can you kind of give us the rundown of why it was so important?
Yeah, sure. So Apollo 9 was the first crewed flight of the Lunar Module.
Ah, the Lunar Module.
Yeah, so this was the vehicle that was designed to actually land on the moon.
Right, detached from the command module and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And up until Apollo 9, it had only been tested without a crew.
Oh, wow. So this is really the first time they were seeing how it would actually perform with people on board.
Yeah, they needed to make sure it could do all the things it needed to do in space. Fire its engines, navigate properly, dock with the command module.
Yeah, the docking is so important.
Absolutely crucial because the astronauts would need to transfer between the two vehicles during the moon landing.
And speaking of transferring between vehicles, I remember reading about how McDivitt and Schweickart actually moved between the command module and the lunar module while they were in Earth orbit.
Oh, yeah, that was a huge deal at the time.
And they did it without even going outside, right?
Right, they used a pressurized docking tunnel that connected the two vehicles.
Which seems so normal now, but back then it was like brand new.
Oh, yeah, it was a totally new procedure, and there were a lot of risks involved.
Like, what if the docking mechanism failed or if the tunnel lost pressure?
Exactly. It could have been a disaster, but it worked perfectly and paved the way for future missions.
It's amazing to think about how they were really pioneers in so many ways.
They were definitely pushing the boundaries.
All right, so let's actually get to this picture now.
Yeah, let's take a look.
What can you tell us about it? What are we looking at here?
So this photo was taken by Rusty Schweickart, and it shows David Scott doing a stand-up EVA.
EVA being
Extravehicular activity, or spacewalk.
what course?
He's standing in the hatch of the command module, and you can see the lunar module docked in the foreground.
And the Earth is in the background too.
Yeah, it's this beautiful, swirling blue marble.
It's an incredible shot. It really captures the whole scope of the mission.
And you know what's funny?
What's it?
The crew actually gave nicknames to the modules.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they called the command module Gumdrop
Gumdrop.
and the lunar module Spider.
I love that.
It just adds this little bit of personality to this serious mission.
Yeah, it's like they're bringing a bit of Earth with them into space.
Exactly.
So I guess the big takeaway here is that Apollo 9 was so much more than just a test flight.
It was a crucial step in proving that the moon landing was actually possible.
And that humans could perform these complex maneuvers in space.
And that we could push the boundaries of exploration further than ever before.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to leave our listeners with a question to think about.
All right.
If you were an astronaut on Apollo 9, what would have been your biggest fear?
That's a good one.
What would have kept you up at night?
I think that's something for all of us to ponder.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Apollo 9. It's been a pleasure.
As always.
And we'll see you next time for another adventure.
See you then.